back, relax, and maybe get yourself a snack. Me and you gonna have a little chat about books. Hi guys! So I'm here today to do my July book haul. I haven't done a haul for a few weeks, so I thought it was time because I have accumulated quite a few books. So let's just dive straight on in. First one is one I was sent for review. Didn't request this, it just turned up out of the blue, but I have since heard good things about it, so I have kept it, and that is called Strange Practice by Vivian Shaw. This actually turned up with some alcohol in tow. Some cognac actually turned up with it, a tiny little bottle, and some sweets, which I have since eaten because I got this a fair while ago. But yeah, I've got a little bottle of cognac and a book. I can't really complain. Never tried cognac though, so I don't know when I'll get around to giving it a go. But in the meantime, let me tell you what the book is about. This comes out on the 27th of July, and I believe it is about a strange doctor. And it says on the back, after inheriting a highly specialised and highly peculiar medical practice, Dr. Helsig spends her days treating London's undead for a host of ills. Vocal strain in banshees, arthritis in barrow-wights, and entropy in mummies. Although barely making ends meet, this is just the quiet, supernatural-adjacent life Greta's dreamed of since childhood. But when a sect of murderous monks emerges, killing humans and undead alike, Greta must use all of her unusual skills to keep her supernatural clients and the rest of London safe. It sounds quite batty, if I'm honest, but it does sound like it will be a fun story, so I'm looking forward to giving this one a try, and hopefully it will live up to all the expectation of madness that I have. The next book I have is one of my SBFBO books, where the author actually got in contact with me and said could she send me a physical copy of the book, and that is this one, Dark Storm, which is book one of the Ren Wars saga by M.L. Spencer. And this says, it is a time of darkness and betrayal. Two nations stand on the brink of war, two assemblies of mages armed for battle, and a malevolent secret is the impetus that fuels their conflict. The time of magic is coming to an end. Faced with the imminent cataclysm that will destroy the magical heritage of his people, Dark Mage Xavier Rehnquist is forced to resort to demonic measures to protect the legacy of magic at the expense of the common man. The only mages who stand a chance of opposing him are Sefana Clemley and her acolyte Maris Breyer. Along with their protectors Braden and Quinlan, will they all fall victim to Rehnquist's ruthless temptations and become dark mages themselves? So I believe this is the first in a series. I'm definitely looking forward to giving it a go, and I will report back on this one soon because I am going to be reading it for SPFBO, so very excited to get along to this very soon. The next one I picked up is one I bought myself, and this is one that is a graphic novel. It is the next one in the Descender series by Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen. It is volume 4. I'm very excited to dive into this because I've heard great things from everyone I know who has said it is just as good as the previous volumes, if not better, and I'm really looking forward to getting back into the story because it is all getting very exciting. It follows a young robot who is called Tim21, and he is adorable and abandoned. His family have left him, he doesn't know why, and we're following his adventure to try and reunite with his family and find out what has happened. And the solar system has changed quite considerably since he was last awake. It's a beautiful story. It's got really wonderful illustrations. As you can see, the cover is gorgeous. The back cover is also really epic and spacey. And then inside, I'll try and show you a page that doesn't spoil anything, although I haven't read it yet, so I don't know. But this is one of the pages. Like, they're really, really cool. So I'm definitely looking forward to getting back into the story again. The next book is one I am hugely excited about. It was on my anticipated releases, and that is An Echo of Things to Come by James Islington. This is the sequel to this one, which is The Shadow of What Was Lost, and you guys might remember me talking about this. I'll put a link to my video where I mentioned it and told you all that you should read it because I loved it so much. So now I have the second one, and they look so good next to each other. I love it, even though one is a hardback and one is paperback. That's okay because they're the same height basically. But yeah, I absolutely loved the first one. I cannot wait for the second. I was so excited when I heard this was now being traditionally published, as it did start out as a self-published series, and I read the first one when it was a self-published book. So I'm so excited to see the second one. Hopefully it will be a step up and I can't wait. I just can't wait. The story ended on a massive cliffhanger, so I'm really looking forward to diving into book 2. And book 2, An Echo of Things to Come, officially comes out on the 27th of August, so look out for that very soon too. The next one I picked up on, I think, Thomas's recommendation from SFF 180. I was asking for some great sort of classic SF and classic authors that I should read, and he mentioned that I should try picking up this one, which is Arthur C. Clarke, The Space Trilogy, Islands in the Sky, Earthlight and the Sands of Mars. I've never actually read any Arthur C. Clarke, so it did feel like it was probably time to do so, and I got this super cheap secondhand. So apparently I think Earthlight was one he recommended to me, but this one has 2 other stories as well, so I'm looking forward to giving them a try. I hope I like them. I will report back when I read them. Next, I picked up volume 3 of Death Note, which is a manga. I've never really read much manga, so this is the first manga series I've been trying to slowly get into. I find with manga I like it, but I don't read it very often. So what I've been doing is tending to read it when I have a Getting Graphic day with Eleanor, and we host a readathon called Getting Graphic. That's when I tend to read these. So I've enjoyed the first 2 volumes. I definitely want to find out what happens next because it is completely mad. It follows a character who has this book that when you write people's names in it, they die, and you can write how they die, and basically it's very, very powerful magic to have. But then this character starts being hunted by the police and different secret service and things like that, because obviously they don't want people just dying all over the place. It seems very bizarre and very odd, so they're on the hunt to find out who it is that is killing people and why, and our main character is kind of trying to escape from them and evade them, but it gets very complicated. I do like it a lot. I am enjoying it, so I'm looking forward to going on to this one fairly soon in the future at some point. I also love the fact that it has black edges. That really makes my day. Next up is a self-published book that the author sent to me. This one is called Dark Oak, and it's by Jacob Sanelk. It says, humanity has finally defeated the Dark Lord, but Morik fought on the wrong side. Though he was a slave, he is branded a traitor and must earn the trust of new lords in order to be able to return to his family if they are still alive. Now that their common enemy is dead, the nobles begin to forget old loyalties, and Queen Catherine's realm looks set to plunge into war once more. But there are older and more terrible powers dwelling in the forest, and when they are awakened, Morik will decide who lives or dies. It sounds very dramatic. It's quite a short fantasy book. I love the colours on the cover. I just think they're really gorgeous, sort of turquoisey blue. So I'm really looking forward to giving this a try. I don't think it's part of the SBFBO books. It's definitely not in my batch. So I will get around to this as soon as I can. But obviously at the moment I am focusing on the SBFBO works for self-published books. So hopefully it won't be too long before I get to this, but I'm definitely thankful to have it and looking forward to reading it sometime soon. Another one I was sent by the author is a tiny little sort of novella book, and that is this one. It looks a bit scary. It's called 9 Parts Plaster and Other Stories by A.Z. Anthony, and it's a collection of 4 stories. I think they're all kind of horror-ish. A monster of legend stalks the shadows, surrounded by rumours as abundant as the slashed and torn corpses it leaves in its wake. I have a feeling they might all be set in the same world, but I'm not entirely certain, and I am looking forward to reading this because it is super tiny. It's only 85 pages long, so it's really, really short, and I definitely do need to get this into my reading fairly soon. Hopefully it won't take me long to get through. The next one I picked up is by an author I had previously read, and I decided I wanted to try out her sci-fi, and that is Lewis McMaster-Bujold, who does the Chalian series, which I will put a link to my review of below. I definitely enjoyed the first and second in that series. I didn't love the third, but I've heard really great things about this series, which is called Chalian Series. I'm not sure how you say that, but this is the first book, I believe, Shards of Honor. It's very sci-fi epicness on the cover, and I don't really know too much about what it's to do with, but I'm looking forward to reading it. I've heard good things about this series, so hopefully this is the one I can start with and I will dive on in. And then I just did my Mach Box unboxing, so I got 2 books for that. The first of those is this one, The Iron Age by Ara Kayamo, maybe? I'm not sure how you say that. And the second one is The Next Step in the Dance by Tim Gautreaux. I've never heard of either of them, but I told you a little bit more in my Mach Box unboxing, so I'll link that and you can go and watch it and find out a bit more about each of them there. So those are all the books I have recently been acquiring. Most of them were sort of surprise ones from authors and publishers, so thank you to all of them for sending them to me, but I did pick up a few myself. I am hoping to get to some of them really soon, particularly An Echo of Things to Come is one I've been hugely anticipating, so I really want to get to that very soon. Let me know in the comments what you guys have been up to, what you've been reading, and what you've been buying, and I will chat to you all very soon in another video. Bye guys!
Thank you for watching my video today. Go pick up a book, then come back and chat with me again.